This is the Oaks, a house in the country which I rented for the summer. As an author, I write tales of mystery and murder, but the things that happened in this house were far more fantastic than any story I've ever had published. I brought a staff of servants from my city apartment, and my maid Lizzie Allen, who had been with me nearly 20 years. Lizzie?
Yes, Miss Cornelia?
Is the car ready?
It's at the door. Look, Miss Cornelia, them servants you brought from the apartment are talking about walking out on us.
Really? Oh, I know they don't like it here, but I didn't think it was that bad.
Well, they've been hearing things about the killer that the police call the Bat and the murders that he committed here this past winter. Now people are saying that he's back again.
Well, how can they be sure of that? Has he committed another crime?
No, not yet, but that ain't saying that he won't. Here's something else. You've heard about the bats they have here, animal bats, the kind that fly.
Yes.
Look what it says in this magazine. This is a report from the State Health Department, and it says some of them bats is rabid.
Well?
And that ain't all. And now there's a rumour going around that it was the Bat himself, the killer I mean, that released the rabid bats in this neighbourhood.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Well, the housekeeper, the cook, the butler and the upstairs maid don't think so.
Well, I can't help what they think. If hysterical nonsense like that can scare them out of their good jobs, it's their loss, not mine. Come on, Lizzie, I've got to get to the bank. Drive directly to Zenith Bank, Warner. I'm afraid we'll have to hurry, it's near closing time.
I'll get you there, Miss Van Gorder.
Thanks again.
Miss Van Gorder!
How are you doing, Mr. Bailey?
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. You remember Lizzie Allen?
Of course, hello, Miss Allen.
How do you do?
So you're spending the summer with us again?
Yes, I've leased the Oaks, the home of your bank president, John Fleming.
I heard you had. I was surprised.
Why? Is there something the matter with it?
No, I was surprised because Mr. Fleming said he would never rent it.
Well, I rented it from his nephew, Mark Fleming, who has the real estate office here. He said his uncle would be gone the entire summer.
That's right. Mr. Fleming is in the North Woods now with his physician, Dr. Wells. Oh, pardon me, Dale. I want you to meet my wife. We were married at Christmas time.
That must have been nice.
Believe me, it was. Oh, here she is, my wife, Miss Van Gorder, Miss Allen.
How do you do, Miss Bailey?
How do you do? Quite new in Van Goyder.
Yes.
Oh, well, I read every murder mystery you ever written. I just adore that Glade one. The Private Moil of Dr. X, even though it gave me shivers.
Only the shivers? Scared hell out of me? Well, I really means that Miss Corney killed them off in that one.
When you refer to my books, please don't call me Miss Corney.
Pardon me, Mr. Bailey. Mr. Hines is here to see you.
Oh yes, excuse me, please. Don't be strangers now.
No, we won't. Oh, so you're a bride?
Not since Christmas.
You know, I'm sure I've seen you.
Well, I used to be my husband's secretary here in the bank.
Of course I remember.
May I welcome our most distinguished visitor back to Zenith?
Oh, that's very charming, but...
Lieutenant Anderson.
Lieutenant Anderson, of course. Chief of Detectives of the Zenith Police Department. This is Miss Allen.
Miss Allen.
How do you do?
Lieutenant Anderson is one of our favorite citizens. He's on the bank's board of directors.
Not bad for a policeman.
You must have made a good thing of it.
Well, I saved my money, if that's what you mean.
It's near closing time, and I've got some business in the safe deposit vault. Please come and see me, Miss Bailey.
Oh, I'd love to.
And you, Lieutenant.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Nice to have met you. My, what a charming woman. She moved into the Oaks just the other day.
That house is a proper sitting for a writer of mysteries.
Oh, it certainly is. Vic, what's the matter?
Come in here, both of you. Andy, we're in trouble. Wendell Hines came in to pick up $350,000 worth of bonds that we were holding as collateral for a loan. They were kept in our special vault. Mr. Fleming and I are the only officers of the bank who have access to that vault.
So?
The Hines bonds are gone. That's not all. Other negotiable securities are missing from what I can gather short of a careful check. The bank has been looted of over $1 million worth of securities.
You'll have to notify Fleming.
I wish I could talk to him. Unfortunately, he and Dr. Wells are deep in the woods. They can't be reached by phone.
What is it? I thought I heard someone on the path coming from the lake. Had an idea it might be that guide of ours.
Oh, Sam won't show up until morning. It's a 20-mile canoe trip from here to civilization.
5 will get you 10. Sam has a message for me.
I thought you told them at the bank not to bother you.
I did, but they'll bother me. Doctor?
Yes, John.
What would you do for $500,000?
Anything short of murder.
Why not murder?
Too messy.
Too great a risk?
For $500,000, yes.
I pinched $1 million from the bank. I'm not kidding, I embezzled it.
Not that I think you wouldn't do it if you thought you could get away with it.
I got away with it. I'm not talking about currency. I took negotiable securities that could be converted into cash. I have the cash in 10s, 20s, and 100s.
And I'm your doctor, not your lawyer. Why tell me this?
You'll find out why.
Who's going to take the blame for the robbery?
Bailey the cashier, they'll never suspect me.
I like Bailey.
Oh, so do I love the guy. I gave him his first chance.
He has a lovely little wife.
Charming girl, was the best man.
Where's the $1 million?
In my family's tomb in Zenith, in the crypt with my father's casket.
I don't buy that, John.
No?
No. You forget that I had you in charge when you were a very sick man, when you raved in delirium and I heard you talk about a hidden room. Now, where else could you put a hidden room except in that mansion you built? That white elephant you call the Oaks.
Look, everyone knows I have a bad heart. Who would doubt it if you wired the bank directors that my heart is failed? That I'd fallen from a great height here in the woods and that I was badly smashed up? You could ship the body back for burial and instruct them not to open the casket due to the condition of its contents.
Well, you realize, of course, that we had to have a body to put in that casket, which means that we'd have to deal with an undertaker at this end.
Of course.
But where do we get a body?
Couldn't we provide one of our own? How about Sam?
Sam, our guide?
Sam weighs about as much as I do. He's practically a hermit. He wouldn't be missed for a long time.
The local undertaker would know him.
Not if we made him look as if he'd been in a serious accident.
But if Bailey is going to take the blame, why do you have to do this?
A jury might acquit him. In that case, I'd be a logical suspect. I could disappear, of course, but it's safer if they think I'm dead.
What if I don't go for this deal?
In that case, it would be too bad.
You mean you'd kill me?
What else could I do? Now that I've told you about the $1 million, I'd say you were shot in a hunting accident. Look, Doctor, if you can find another body instead of Sam's, it's all right with me. There's $500,000 in it for you.
I'll do my best.
I smell smoke.
So do I. What's that noise?
Look, Doctor, the woods are on fire. It's coming this way. We've got to get out of here.
We will, as soon as I provide that body we were talking about.
My goodness. Lizzie, is that you?
Yes, Miss Cornelia. There's a storm coming up and it's going to be a snorter. The wind nearly blew the door off its hinges.
Well, that noise blew my game higher than a kite. I think I've lost some of the cards.
Oh, I'll get them for you.
Oh, I see you found the paper.
To rat that paper boy. Scooting by on his bicycle, just chucked it into a couple bushes and let it go at that. For land's sake, Mr. Vic Bailey has been arrested.
Oh,
Right there.
Victor Bailey, Vice President and Cashier of the Zenith Bank, was arraigned before United States Commissioner Alvin Fielding, charged with the embezzlement of over $1 million. I can't believe Vic Bailey had anything to do with that robbery. Oh well, I see our landlord is home again.
Landlord?
Mr. Fleming. Dr. Malcolm Wells is back in town with the body of John Fleming, President of the Zenith Bank, who was killed in a forest fire. Mr. Fleming will be laid to rest in his family's tomb on Friday.
And I hope he stays there.
Why shouldn't he?
Well, this is his house. And ever since he died, some funny things have happened here.
For instance,
The housekeeper, the cook and the butler said that they heard strange noises at night. And the upstairs maid swore that she met a man without a face coming up the back stairs.
oh, so that's why they quit and left me to run this place without a staff.
They didn't tell you, Miss Corney, but the truth is, we're scared to stay.
But you're still here, Lizzie. Haven't you seen anything?
No, and even if I had, I ain't afraid of ghosts. They're afraid of me. Honest Miss Corney. A spiritualist told me once that Ghost was allergic to me. But this bat fella they keep talking about in the paper, I guess he'd be different.
No, I don't think you'd have the same effect on him. Oh dear.
What are they trying to do? Drive people away from this part of the country?
Why? What did it say about the bat?
His specialty seems to be killing women, my goodness. 2 of them in one night. All his victims died the same way. Like their throats had been ripped open with steel claws.
Well, that's a charming little caper. I'll have to try it sometime. In a book.
That ain't nothing, just something bumping against the house. That's just the wind banging a door. Pay no attention to it. Listen to this. One of his victims who lived for a moment, after she was found, described the bat as a man without a face. Honest Miss Corney, I think that woman must have been exaggerating. That's just that heavy tapestry at the top of the stairs.
I know, I've heard it before on a windy night. But that sound a little was someone on the stairs. I know there isn't. Least there shouldn't be.
There ain't. Them is just the noises you hear in any old house on windy night. It says here that the bat never leaves no fingerprints.
That's understandable. Having no face, he probably has no fingers either. Lizzie. And that, I suppose, is the cat dropping its dentures.
No, I don't think so. But I think it's something should be looked into. Now who chucked him down here?
The wind, I hope. There must be a window open up there. No, Lizzie, let him lay, let him sleep it off. I hope the power lines don't go down. Put the lights out. We'll check the windows in the living room and drawn the curtains, and then we'll go to bed.
Yes, ma'am. I won't be a minute. Miss Corney!
What was that?
Oh, when I went to get the paper, I turned the latch off. I forgot to turn it on again. He's out there. He was coming in. He might have got you.
Oh, but he didn't, and he's still out there, thanks to you. Now you hurry now, go, we'll call the police.
No, I won't leave you, Miss Corney.
Are you okay?
Yes, ma'am, I'm okay.
Okay.
Operator.
Give me the police department, please.
Zenith Police Department.
This is Cornelia Van Gorder. I'm living at the Oaks.
We know about that, Miss Van Gorder.
Just a moment ago, a man tried to force his way into this house.
You're not alone there, are you? What about your servants?
Well, I have none except my chauffeur, and he's away. Won't be back until the morning. Now, there's only 2 of us here tonight, and we're going to lock ourselves in my room. Now, if any of your men see anything, will you have them call me?
I'll send officers over there right away.
Well, thank you very much. Come on, Lizzie, we're going to sleep in my room. Well, nothing can get at us in this room now, I don't think. This door seems good and solid.
Like the door to a tomb.
I think that couch will be comfortable. It's some extra bedding, you know, it's in the closet.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's see now. No bolt. No, that's not so good.
Ma'am, what's that for?
That, my good woman, is a booby trap. If anybody tries to open this transom, this'll be knocked off and we'll hear it fall.
Oh, fiddlesticks. I forgot my night things. My robe, my gown, and my sleepers. I'll go get them now.
Now wait a minute, Lizzie, I'll go with you.
Now don't you bother Miss Cornelia. My room is just down the hall.
Lizzie, I told you to wait.
It's all right, I'll only be a second.
Get in here, get in here. Yes?
Miss Van Gorder?
Yes?
Zenith Police Department. There's a police car just outside your house, and the officers in it have reported that there's no sign of a prowler anywhere on the grounds.
Oh, the man is inside now. He's in the hall just outside my bedroom. Have your men break through the kitchen door and search this place from top to bottom.
Okay, Miss Van Gorder, sit tight.
I will. I have a gun and I know how to use it. Oh, relax, Lizzie. The police did a good job. They couldn't find anybody in here.
But we both saw him miss Cornelia.
All right, so he got away. But there are men on guard outside, so just try and get some rest. There's nothing can get at us here.
Oh, Miss Cornelia! Miss Cornelia!
What? What's the matter?
A bat!
Oh, nonsense, you've had a nightmare.
Maybe I did. But there was a bat and it bit me.
What?
It flew in that closet.
Good gracious, Lizzie, you're right. Operator, will you get me Dr. Malcolm Wells's office, please? No, I don't know his number and I have no phone book up here, but this is an emergency. Will you connect me with his office, please?
Oh dear, I'm going to get the rabies.
Hello?
Hello, Dr. Wells' office.
This is a call service. Dr. Wells is out at moment, but if you give me your name and number, I'll try to locate him.
Well, this is Miss Van Gorder of the Oaks. My maid has just been bitten by a bat that may be rabid, and she must have treatment as soon as possible. And I was told that Dr. Wells was the nearest physician.
I'll try to find him for you, and if I can't, I'll send you another doctor.
Well, thank you very much. Oh, he's out on a case. Oh, I hope it's not a delivery, a baby. I mean, they can be terribly complicated.
It never bothered me none.
Oh, Lizzie, you never had a baby.
Of course I didn't. That's why they never bothered me.
Oh, does it hurt?
A little.
Dr. Wells, are you there, Dr. Wells? This is the operator. Your call service is on the wire. It's an emergency.
This is Dr. Wells.
This is your call service, Doctor.
Oh, hello. I was just doing an experiment. I left the receiver off.
That's what I thought, but I kept trying. Miss Van Gorder at the Oaks called and said that her maid had been bitten by a bat, and she's afraid it might be rabid.
What? Oh, all right. Tell her I'll be right over there.
Who's there?
Dr. Wells.
Come in.
Good evening.
Oh, I'm so glad they found you, Doctor.
Well, I reached my office shortly after you called. How is your maid? Is she in any pain?
No, she doesn't seem to be.
Did the bat get away?
No, I believe it's still in my bedroom.
Good, I'll want to examine it. There you go, Miss Allen. Now you'll feel better.
Doctor, have I got the rabies?
Well, I can tell you better after I've examined the bat's brain under a microscope.
That thing got a brain?
Oh, you'd be surprised. Where is it?
I think the little darling is in that closet.
You know, it's a pity you leased this house, Miss Van Gorder.
Why a pity?
Well, my dear lady, I don't want to alarm you, but...
Oh, after tonight nothing can alarm me.
Yes, I understand it must have been terrifying. So many unexplainable things had happened here. It's something about the place. Your servants must have sensed it when they walked out on you. An apprehension of disaster. Well, let's see. Yes, there he is. All right, now take it easy. Nobody is going to hurt you. Quiet now. Quiet. Looks quite normal. Doesn't seem to be sick at all.
Ain't that nice? I've been worried about him.
Well, you should be. From his appearance, I'd say that he doesn't have any infection, in which case you had a narrow escape. Now, you take one of those tablets I left for you and I'll guarantee you a good night, and I'll drop in on you tomorrow.
Oh, thanks for everything, Doctor.
Now, don't worry, I can find my way out.
I know you can, but do let me help you.
Oh, don't forget that once I'm gone, you'll have to climb those stairs alone.
Oh, I'm all right. I'm armed now.
Can you shoot one of those things without shutting your eyes?
Oh, Doctor, there are guns in every book I've ever written. I don't write about things I'm unfamiliar with. Lock the door, Lizzie.
Good night.
Yes, ma'am. Good night, Doctor.
Accident?
No, the wind blew him down.
Oh,
I think.
did you know that young Mark Fleming leased you this house without notifying his uncle? Well, it doesn't matter now. John Fleming is dead and Mark is his heir. But if John were alive, he would warn you to leave here, Miss Van Gorder.
Really?
Yes, it's been a tragic place for anyone who ever lived in it. Well, good night.
Good night, Doctor.
Who is out there?
Nobody you need to worry about, Doctor.
Oh, it's Andy.
That's right. Good evening, Miss Van Gorder.
Good evening, Lieutenant.
Somebody sick here?
My maid was bitten by a bat.
Oh, a rabid bat?
Well, I'll know for sure when I get to my lab. I caught the bat.
It happened indoors.
In my bedroom.
How it get in?
Well, there are ways a bat could get in a house.
You ought to know. I spotted this hole in the window the minute I got here. That's where the two-legged bat got your door open.
Miss Van Gorder told me that she phoned headquarters at Zenith.
Yes, I phoned twice. The second time was after the prowler got in the house.
We're in headquarters, Andy?
No, but they contacted me.
An officer came and searched the house from top to bottom, but they couldn't find the bat.
You better have this window fixed tomorrow.
Oh yes, I certainly shall.
And I better be going. I'm due in surgery at 8 o'clock in the morning. Good night.
Good night, Doctor.
There'll be a man patrolling the grounds all night, Miss Van Gorder.
Oh, thank you.
And nobody inside, Andy?
Why should there be?
How do you know but what the bat is hiding somewhere in the house?
I'm quite sure he isn't in the house, Doctor. Not now. Good night.
Good night.
Hi, Andy.
Hello, Mark. Well, congratulations. Real estate business must be picking up. New office, new furniture.
New deal. How do you like it?
Looks expensive. Are you squandering your inheritance?
Oh, I haven't got it yet.
Oh, the paper says John Fleming left his entire fortune to you.
Funny thing about that entire fortune is that we can't find it.
No kidding?
No, all Uncle John has in his bank account was a couple $100, and his safe deposit box was empty.
If we don't find that missing million, mines will be empty too.
How come?
Well, all my savings were invested in Zenith Bank stock. The examiners won't certify the bank as solvent until those stolen securities are found, so the stockholders have voted an assessment that'll wipe some of us out. It's as is those securities have been converted into cash, and if I can't find that cash, I'm sunk.
Oh, where are you going to look for it, Andy?
Here in Zenith. Your uncle wouldn't take $1 million on a hunting trip, would he?
You suspect Uncle John? Why, Andy? He founded the Zenith back. That'd be like robbing the family tomb.
You think he wouldn't?
Well, besides, Vic Bailey's fingerprints are all over the vault. Now, they didn't find any of Uncle John's fingerprints.
Because he wiped them off.
Can the defense prove that?
They'll try to. Judy Holland had Bailey's secretary as a defense witness, and they believe her testimony will have a powerful effect on the jury.
Well, she has a powerful effect on me. Judy is a doll.
Here's the book you mentioned, Judy.
Your newest one?
Yes, it's just been published. You can have that copy if you wish.
It's a first edition and you've signed it.
Yes, of course.
Thank you so much.
May I serve tea now, Miss Van Gorder?
Yes, please do, Warner, thank you.
I see you've engaged new servants.
Yes, of course.
Oh, how did you persuade them to live in this house?
Jane Patterson, my new housekeeper, knows this house better than you do, Doctor. She worked for John Fleming and Warner was my chauffeur.
Chauffeur turned butler?
It's incredible. He can play any part at a moment's notice. Ah, did you get a plumber, Warner?
No, we can't get a plumber for 3 days, madame.
What about that leaking pipe? The basement will be flooded in 3 days.
The pipe is no longer leaking.
You mean it's dried up of its own accord?
No, not quite. I packed the elbow where the water was coming up.
Pack the elbow. Where did you learn how to do that?
Into each life, a little rain must fall, and a careful man learns to keep himself dry. Now, is there anything that you require, Miss Van Gorder?
No, not at the moment, Warner.
Thank you, madame.
Now, there's a character.
How long did you say that he worked for you as chauffeur?
About 3 months.
Well, I hope he doesn't have a police record. My dear Dale, it may interest you to know that the last night of his life, John Fleming told me that he loved your husband like a son. If Fleming were alive today, he would be fighting to prove Vic's innocence.
Could Mr. Fleming prove his own innocence?
Miss Van Gorder, can there be any doubt about it?
There will be when Miss Holland testifies at Vic's trial.
Oh, you know something that we haven't heard yet, Judy?
Something I saw with my own eyes.
She's not permitted to say what it was.
My dear girl, I wouldn't think of asking her, but let's assume for a moment that Fleming did steal the $1 million now. What would he do about it? Where is it?
Hidden someplace where he could lay his hands on it without getting caught in the act. Now, if I was writing this instead of living in the middle of it, I'd hide it right here in this spooky old house, under a loose floorboard or up a chimney. If Mr. Fleming had the nerve to steal $1 million, he'd make his plans well in advance. I'd say he'd prepare a place to hide it, possibly when this house was being built. I rented this place from Mark Fleming, his nephew. I wonder if he had the floor plans.
I'll ask him.
Yes. Lizzie, will you bring Miss Bailey the phone? You ask him now. His number is Summit.
Summit 7537.
Thank you, Lizzie. Summit
7537.
Not bad, eh, Andy? That means new business. Now, you see, somebody wants to buy a house. Mark Fleming speaking. Oh, hello, Dale. Well, hang on a minute, honey, while I see if I have them. It's Dale Bailey, all excited. Miss Van Gorder wants to know if I have the floor plans of the Oaks. Now, what would she want with the floor plans?
Well, she suggested to me that your uncle might have hidden the bank loot there. Are the plans here?
Somewhere in the house itself. Wait a minute. There is a place where Uncle Johnny might have kept those blueprints.
What place?
Well, I heard him talk about it a good many years ago. I can't be sure of the exact location. Anyway, I don't think the old boy had the guts to steal $1 million. But if I find those plans, I'll let you know, Andy. Hello, Dale? Look, honey, I haven't seen those plans since I was a kid, but I'll come over tonight and maybe we can find them.
Thank you, Mark. We'll expect you. He seems to think they're here in the house somewhere. He's coming over tonight.
Oh, that's good. Dale and Judy are my house guests for the weekend. Would you like to have dinner with us tonight?
Oh no, thank you, I couldn't. I still have a few calls to make. You know, if Judy's testimony is going to clear Vic Bailey and implicate John Fleming, others may get the idea that there's buried treasure in this house. Don't even mention your testimony until you're actually on the stand.
Oh, I won't.
That's a smart girl, Judy, and a very lovely girl. Well, good afternoon, ladies.
You too, Doctor.
Goodbye, Dr. Wells. Come on, girls, let's go. So many unusual things have happened here this summer. The more I think about it, the more I realise I should have been putting them down on paper. Weren't you your husband's secretary, Dale?
Yes, I was.
You take shorthand? Well, my dear, if you'd like to have your mind occupied, I want you to work with me while I write the story of this fantastic criminal, the Bat.
Wonderful dinner.
Thank you. That clock hasn't struck the hour in the last 10 years, if I'm to believe what Mark Fleming told me.
Why is it angled away from the wall like that?
I don't know, somebody must have moved it. Lizzie, very like when she was dusting.
Wait a minute. Did you know there's a door in this paneling?
No, I didn't. Oh, by gracious, so there is.
Maybe it opens to a secret passage.
Certainly to a secret something. Who knows, girls, we may be about to stumble on that missing million. Oh, there's a panel. There must be some gimmick to it.
Calling car 11, calling car 11. Proceed to the Oaks in Zenith Township immediately. A homicide has been reported.
Okay, proceeding to the Oaks. Notify the county coroner, Dr. Wells. Tell him to come to the Oaks at once. Horrible.
It's as if his throat had been torn by some creature with fangs or claws.
That's his sign. We found it on the others he killed. I'd hoped those reports that he was up to his old tricks again were pure imagination, but apparently they're based on fact. He's come back to the scene of his kills. Yes, that's who I mean, that's who did this. The Bat...